Let's play a game. I'm gonna say a country and then you're gonna say the city that comes to mind. You ready? Australia, China, France, Spain, Japan. I bet you freaking said Tokyo, didn't you? That's the thing though. Everyone who goes to Japan has to go to Tokyo. It's the biggest city, it's got all the hype, and of course, there's a lot of appeal to the big cities. They are big city for a reason. But what if you didn't go to the big city, but actually spent time in the smaller cities? Even the Japanese government agrees with this, and they're trying to get tourism into the smaller cities. So the Japanese government did not actually pay me to be here, but we are in Kobe, Japan this week. We're actually here for a tennis tournament. I travel full time on the pro tennis tour, but this video is not about the tennis tour today. I just want to see what the appeal is of the smaller cities and see if it's worth your time. We're a little bit outside of Kobe right now, so let's get on a train and go to Kobe.
All fare information.
That was the first time I actually got on the train by myself. Normally, I just turn my brain off and James, my boyfriend, just handles everything, but we ended up getting it. Normally, I'm a really big solo traveler. Normally I was a big solo traveler before I actually started traveling on tour with James, but now traveling with him, oh, I think that's me. Ooh. I have a fully empty carriage. How good is that? Anyways, what I was saying before is just that I'm normally a very solo girl. I pretty much do a lot of things myself, especially because James and I were actually doing long distance for like 2.5 years before I started traveling full time with him on the tour. That's why I wanted to challenge myself today and kind of get out there and do something a little bit more solo. I've just been taking the easy route lately, so we need to go do something a little bit harder. I've just walked out of the station and already it's still got city vibes, but it's definitely not Tokyo. The vibes are a little bit more industrial. It could just be where the station is and where I'm walking around, but it seems a little bit homier, just a little bit more lived in. Apparently this is super good, but we're not here for that. I just wanted something really quick to eat before we go to our first place, which I'm so excited for. But these are onigiris. I think this is my heaven. Yes, I traveled 45 minutes for some matcha. Look at this. They also have this like tiramisu thing, but it's like matcha. So interesting. I'll put in a TikTok, but we're not here for that. We're just here for a classic matcha latte. I actually got a memory the other day of having matcha for the first time in the year 2020, believe it or not. So I've been a fan for 5 years. I did get the normal strength and not the triple or the double, so hopefully this is enough. Let's see, first try. It's a little weak, to be honest. I think I probably could have gone for the double. Is that milk off? No. So far, Kobe's pretty cool. It reminds me a little bit of Auckland in New Zealand, but like very spread out. In my head, I'm like, Kobe's not as big of a city. It's still a really big city. There's a lot to it. And we're actually on like a port area. So I saw a little peek of it. There's a Ferris wheel. It looks really cool. So I'm excited to go do that after this. Okay, I don't know what was wrong with that other matcha place, but it was just not hitting. I was walking around the mall and found some other cool spots, specifically one called Nana's Green Tea, which they actually have in Melbourne, which is pretty cool. That is my hometown, despite my American accent, trust me. Hopefully this one is better. It looks a lot more green, which is a good sign. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Eventually, I would love to start my own matcha. That would be absolutely so cool. Imagine one day there's Ellie Majelli matcha. A girl can dream. So one of the nicer things about traveling to someplace that is a little bit lesser known, obviously Kobe is very well known, but it's a little bit lesser than Tokyo, is that you start to feel a little bit less like a tourist. You really get thrown into the daily lives of people, which I think is so special about traveling. I like it a little bit more when things aren't directly handed to you. For example, a guided tour, everything is kind of shown out. You walk through the layout, people tell you what to look at, people tell you the history of it. But my experience traveling is that I actually like to figure it out as I go. And in my opinion, it also makes it a bit more memorable, because when things are a little bit more of a challenge, I feel like that's where you grow, that's where you get better, and that's where you improve. Another appeal to a smaller city like Kobe is that there aren't as many other tourists, which can also be really good for busy places or places that normally would have lines. It is a Monday, so I understand there wouldn't normally be as many people out as it would be on a weekend. But honestly, I found it pretty spacious. Like, there's not that many crowds, and it's pretty easy to walk around and move around, even in the bigger malls and things like that. But you also get the appeal of there being a lot of restaurants and a lot of options for different places to eat and things to do. Oh, what the hell is this? This is kind of giving Banksy. Oh, wait. That is Banksy. Especially with the appeal of Japan, so many tourists are coming to the country, so I feel like coming to a place that's a little bit smaller, not only do you get more of an authentic experience, but you also get to just see something different than what everyone else is looking at. I've also heard a lot from TikTok and just other people who have visited Japan that it can get quite busy. Japan is honestly overwhelmed with the amount of tourists that are coming, so next year they're actually adding like an extra tourist tax. And don't get me wrong, I love going to big cities and I love exploring and just seeing what cities have to offer, but there is something so special about coming to a city that is lesser known or not as many people visit. You get more of an authentic experience of what it's like to actually live in this country rather than just going to the tourist spots. All right, we still got a 15-minute walk to this restaurant, so let's keep going. I think this is one of my favorite matchas I've ever seen. That food was insanely good. It's starting to get dark out, so let's make our way home. Also, sorry, I just have to hold my light up here. Let's try and wrap this up quick so my arm doesn't get too tired. Kobe is awesome. Like, honestly, I loved the whole experience of today. I think at times I was a little bit nervous because I was like, okay, I'm alone. I'm walking around here. I don't really know what I'm doing, what my plans are. So I wanted to rank Kobe on a couple different topics. First, I wanted to say how busy it was. When you're going to a city that's not as popular, obviously it's going to be a little bit less busy. But honestly, I feel like it was pretty good mix. Like, definitely there were people around where I felt safe and I could ask people for directions if I needed to, but I didn't have to wait in any lines. Any place that I went into, I was served right away. Now, was it clean? I actually find Japan in general to be incredibly clean compared to a lot of Western countries. I actually saw this TikTok recently where a guy put on these clean white socks and then walked across Japan and there was like no dirt on his socks, just showing how clean it is. Food-wise, everything that I had was really good except for that first matcha. I don't know what it was. Maybe because I got it at a normal matcha concentration, but honestly, the normal was like weak. I was like, guys, what's going on here? And that was the most expensive matcha that I've bought in Japan, so I was a little bit disappointed on that first one, but the Nana's green tea absolutely saved me. It was so freaking delicious. Now, safety, especially as a solo traveler, is probably one of the biggest concerns that you would have. Normally, I gauge it on how many creepy men are looking and staring at me. If anyone was looking at me, it was probably more because I was a foreigner, not that they were trying to say anything. Again, probably the country that I feel the least safe life in is a lot of the time America, because people will just yell stuff out of their cars and just not make you feel the most comfortable. So in Japan, had no issues at all. Kobe, absolutely easy as well. Even when I was on the train too, I think you might have noticed it at the end there, but I actually went on a woman car only. That felt awesome. I think every country needs to adopt a woman only car area. And I also saw this 6-year-old child that was on the train by herself. So if little kids can do it, you definitely can too. 10 out of 10 stars, would absolutely do this experience again. And if you're looking to do the same trip that I did today, I'm gonna put down in the description a Google Maps list that puts all the different stops that I went to today, so you can check them out as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I post. My next video is gonna be all about the tennis tour in Japan, so stay tuned for that. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.